KUGAN CASSIUS, IFL TV, MTK Global. We're in Brighton here. Delighted to be joined by Sir Ronnie Davies. How are you?
I like that.
That one for you, didn't it?
Yeah, it did. I've done me now, mate.
2 weeks out from a huge fight at the O2. James the Gale, Chris Eubank Jr. And yeah, it's ticking along nicely. How's things in camp?
Yeah, they're all good. It's all going well. There's no problems. Sparring's gone well. I brought a young kid in from Kane. I can't think of his second. He won the Youth Olympics. Abs to spar him. Southpaw. Brilliant. Carroll, somebody's name is. Then I also had Cody Davis in from Wales. Very good fighter. You know Cody? Yeah, brilliant kid. But he's had family problems, so I couldn't keep him down there anymore. But the American's a good kid as well. He's a good. I didn't bring him over. What's his name? And I brought the other two, and they're good. You know, it's all working well.
Obviously, not too long ago, obviously, Chris announced his, in quotes, full-time trainer as Nate Vasquez. First of all, how are you finding working with Nate, and what does that kind of do to your role, Ronnie, within the team?
It don't really make any difference to me because he didn't listen to me anyway. I've always, when he first turned pro, his father said to him, "You don't listen to anybody but yourself." So that I went, all right, fair enough. So I'm old school. I've been in the business 62 years. If he doesn't want to take any notice of me, then that's down to him. I know the game inside out. I've trained enough champions, Howard Eastman, Mark Baker, Oakey, Linford. I've had some good boys. You know what I mean?
Ronnie, when I asked him and said, you've got a full-time trainer now, so on the night, in the corner, are you going to take instruction and listen? And his words to me was, I'm going to try. So I asked that to Nate, and I'm asking it to yourself. What does that actually mean? I'm going to try. Does that mean if emotion runs through him wildly, he's going to the game plan's going to go out the window, or what does that mean?
I don't know. I just think he do his own thing. He always has done. I mean, I've spoke. I never go on game plans. I'm old school. I think a boxer, if he served his time, he should know to deal with any situation. It's like these kids, they're training especially for a southpaw. And all of a sudden, the fight, someone that he gets injured, they bring another person in, and he goes, "Oh, I didn't win the fight because I was fighting for southpaw." So you should be trained to deal with any situation that's put in front of you.
The fact that Chris has kind of admitted, and yourself has spoken about it on numerous occasions in the past, that this kind of lack of listening, could that potentially be a downfall of Junior?
Yeah, without a doubt. If you don't listen, he didn't listen to me when the Billy Joe, I said, you're 6 rounds behind. You've got to start throwing some bloody punches. You know what I mean? In the Groves fight, I said, you're just rushing in. Just step aside, either side, come in, work behind the jab. He didn't do none of that. And everyone's saying, look at him in some of his other. He didn't get all this criticism when he knocked the Turk out in Germany. All right, Groves is a different league. I'll be quite frank with you. I thought Groves was over the hill. I really did, but he just proved us all wrong. And I thought he boxed brilliantly. He boxed exactly how he could beat Chris Eubank.
Has Senior taken a backward step from Chris? We haven't really seen him, and we know he's abroad, but we haven't really seen him around Chris, kind of out in the public at press conferences, etc., etc. So has he actively taken a step back, or is he still as involved as he was, Ronnie?
Yeah, he's still exactly. He rings me once a week and we have a good chat over the phone. He stepped back a bit, I think, but he's always there. He'll always be there. One of his presence is always. It's nice to have him there, and he's such a character, and it's good when he walks in the room, and the room lightens up. It's like that. It's like me, you see.
Absolutely like you as well, but you haven't got a sheriff's badge.
No, I'm working on it.
Again, I was talking to Chris about this earlier on. It's fair to say the question of whether Junior is the real deal is still out there. It's up for debate because we don't know how good Chris Eubank Jr. is. Is that fair to say?
I think, of course, it's fair to say. Yeah, he's been brilliant and absolutely brilliant in some fights, but I think it might be a bit too harsh on him. He's lost to two. Billy Joe Saunders. I didn't really want that fight. I said it was a year too soon, and once again I was proved right. It was a year too soon. Billy Joe, phenomenal amateur, and I think he's a great fighter, Billy Joe Saunders, and I think he underestimated him. And George Groves, world class, wasn't he? World class, great fighter, George Groves, and a lovely man. Good luck to the fella. Best of luck to him. in his retirement.
What keeps you still here, Ronnie? What keeps it going for you to get up every morning and do this at however old you are young?
That was definitely not the money. I'm 73 in Maine, but I've spent my life. What else do I know? You know what I mean? But I mean, I've got a good life outside boxing. I mean, but yeah, I love the business. You know, if it's a 6-round kid, I'll be giving it the same amount of dedication. I've always done that.
Senior and Junior have always spoken about how important you are to kind of the whole setup here and throughout the years. But like I said, you're always there. Nate. Junior used the term overseer. Ronnie Davies is an overseer. Is that accurate description of what you do?
Yeah, I'll make sure everything runs right. I mean, because he's the worst organiser in the world, young Junior, and so. But I'll make sure everything runs right. I sort out his medicals. I make sure he's on time for this. He does that. I'm always telling him off and rucking him like I did the old man. And he's overseer. I don't mind that position. There's nothing wrong with that.
It's fair to say as well that we're going to have to see the best DeGale and the best Eubank for one another to have a chance of beating each other. That's fair to say as well, Ronnie?
Yeah, that's about right. I mean, I think Chris is in for a very hard night if DeGale's on the ball. I don't think he'd be stupid enough to take the fight, pride-wise as well, or Jimmy McDonald was a very good friend of mine. Jimmy, a great trainer. I don't think they'd be silly enough to take this fight. And because it would take away, if he comes there and he boxes terribly, it takes away his legacy in a lot of ways, doesn't it? You know what I mean? And I wouldn't like to see that, being perfectly frank. But if he's all right and he's not damaged in any way, which I don't think he is, then it's going to be. I mean, he's had injuries, we know, and that could play a big part. He's not an old man, not these days, so he might be still on it. If he is, it's going to be a hard fight. But good for the public. That's what it should be.
We know how much of an important fight this is for Junior in a couple of weeks, but with the addition of obviously Nate Vasquez, is it kind of a turning factor in his career specifically now? Because, you know, if it doesn't go his way, it puts him in a very kind of bad position within the boxing world.
Yeah. It's funny we're talking like this. See, I always go back to years ago and things like that. Now, years ago, if fighters had losses, great fighters, Archie Moore and all people like that, and dear old Henry Cooper got knocked out 3 times in a row, they still come back. I mean, they want to still, a fighter loses, he's got to retire. I think that's, it's not, maybe that's how it is today, I don't know. Sad if it is.
Well, a couple of weeks out, and then, it's Judgment Night, shall we say, 2 weeks tomorrow at the O2. Ronnie Davies, thank you very much for talking to IFL TV. Much appreciate your time, as always. Have you got anything you'd like to add before we go? Do you want to sing us out with a little Dean Martin number?
I might do, I don't know. I'm better than him, aren't I? I don't want to be compared to him compared to me.
Ronnie, thank you very much, and we'll catch up with you in a week or two.
Lovely, mate. Thanks.